Sir Peterson, the fact that vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men, and women do more unpaid labor. Mr. Jordan Peterson asking, in what sense is our Western society get male-dominated? Very tiny proportion of men and a huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men.
Most people in prison are men. Most homeless people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who dies in war are men. Large group of people who do worse in school are men. Where is the dominance here precisely?
What you're doing here is taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and represent the entire structure of Western society. In simple term, this is note from me. Kenji On, you took 0.1% of us men to complain about the imbalanced gender role of our society. You ignored the rest of us, 99.9% of everyday ordinary men, to prove your unpolished point. Everyday ordinary men.
If you want to live in a creative way, which will benefit everything in your life, what makes it great is the personal, with all of its imperfections, with all of its quirkiness. That what makes it great. How you see the world, that's different from how everyone else sees the world. That's why you're an artist. That's your purpose in sharing your work with the world. We're not smart enough to know what someone else is gonna like. To make something well. I don't really like it, but I think this group of people will like it, and it's a bad way to play the game of art.
We are men. We are men. Men is who we are. Our who-man sound the same as who-man. IKEA humongous Manhattan game on play. Zach Decipher Snyder Rhythm Ray made me so smart in this way. We are men. Big thanks to my purple green, bubble blue Super Saiyan Sensei Zach. Our universal ritual. Chanting begins on Tuesday. Sashimi ramen, we are men. Super sushi cotton, sweetie candy behind 3 sucker punch. Samurai even spacing and silhouetting. How does it sound, sir? Why not being so loud? Let's space the F out. How does it sound, sir? And dear my superior emperor sensei since my 7-11 stage. Rhythm rolling continue to slays. How does it sound, sir?
Do what's personal to you. Take this as far as you could go. Really push the boundaries. Be in this flow of catching these waves through the doing. If you see the artist, the best artists out there are the ones who have the best antenna for this coming through material that is available. The doing. Slay the force within you. Yoshio Buddha, Skylooker Demon, SlayStation Slays, Son of Y, S5, Design Computer, Entertainment. Slay has no limits. SlayStation X Files, Shang-Tsung Galaxy S5. Press continuously F5 keystroke to refresh, right?
We are men.
A few sound effects of dog barking in a distance. The next morning, Yoshio woke up to his neighbor's dog barking and barking. Oh no. He had missed the silence? Quiet.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Yoshio walked to school early. His sisters whizzled by on the way to the park, screeching Yoshio's name. Hey, oh Yoshio, hey, lo and behold, Yoshio! Bells ringing SFX, placed carefully and symmetrically right at this single frame. Where was silence? He kept wondered. He goes looking for it. Yoshio heard the creak of the school gates as he pulled them open. SFX of door, creaking slowly, but not that scary. No one was at school yet. Empty classroom? He put on his inside shoes and listened as they shuffled on the shiny floor. The classroom felt different, without anyone in it. It's so quiet.
Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping.
He put on his inside shoes and listened as they shuffled on the shiny floor. The classroom felt different, without anyone in it. It's so quiet.
because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping.
At his desk by the window, and he pulled out his book. The book is also about him. He loved this story, and as he read, he forgot what he is and where he was. Quiet.
And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of Ma's silence. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of Ma's silence.
In a short moment, Yoshio couldn't even hear the sound of his own breath. Everything felt still inside him, peaceful feeling, like the garden after it snowed, like feather-stuffed futons drying in the sun. Silence has been there all along. It's always there. It's always there. It's always there. Patiently waiting for you, Oshi to rediscover it ever again. It has been there between the thumps of his boots when he ran, when the wind stopped for a moment in the bamboo grove. At the end of the letter N, the family's meal now ends, when everyone was full. After the water finished draining from his bath, Yoshio drift in Tokyo streets, and even before the koto player's music began, and hovering in the air, right after it began to end, koto player's music.
And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more.
It was in the between and underneath every other sound, and it has been there all along. Ma, the word ma means in between in Japanese. The concept of ma is something that relates to every aspects of life. It has been described as a pause in time, like this one, like this one, like this one. An interval or emptiness in space. Ma head space, for example. Ma is the fundamental time and space from which life needs to grow. Silence in physical form and non-physical form. Ma. We respect this space of silence. The silence reside in between. Emptiness in space. It is a sacred and important part of our living. Emptiness in space.
People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening.
Wow, I have so many thoughts after reading this book. It's such a beautiful piece of art. I mean, first and foremost, I'm a little emotional. I mean the meaning. That leave a deep meanings. What a profound story about silence. It's really amazing that this story is really highlights the importance of stopping and listening and really taking a moment to reflect. Because when we're listening in a moment of silence, I feel like we are in the moments of reflection of silence, self-reflect, sun. I mean the meaning. And in these moments of reflection, we discover things about ourselves. We listen to the world around us.
People writing songs that voices never share. No one dared disturb the sound of Maya reflection.
I think this book is really teaching us to keep our ears open, our eyes shut close for a moment, and to just take in every single sound, including the sound of nothingness. How does it sound? The in-between space of the editing of this video.
Yoshio Story Part 2, the meaning of Ma's silent word.
Hey, oh Yoshio, hey, lo and behold, Yoshio. How does it sound? For instance, the emptiness gap between two short clips. I think that's really, really profound and really important to think about. Hey, Monday, how do you love me now? Hey, lo and behold, Yoshio.